Good evening, everyone. My name is Ben Reisinger again. I'm the professor of J360, Managing Online Public Relations at IUPUI, fall of 2014. And we're back after my internet connection took a poof last week, and I disappeared right in the middle of talking about Twitter. So tonight we'll talk Twitter, we'll kind of end that discussion, and then we'll start up. Might go like about 6:35, 6:40 for those of you that can make it. For those that can stay, for those that can't, you can just drop off. I might just keep talking through a little bit. But talking Facebook, and we'll talk, the quick Facebook for business and personal. Getting the Hangouts app to join in my phone. Can I be a couple minutes late? Erin's asking that. Hold on, let me tweet her back real quick. All right, so does anybody have any cool social media anecdote for the week while I'm tweeting Erin back?
I saw there's a new platform. I don't know how new it is. I saw it floating around Facebook. It's called Ello.
Okay, what is it? Ello? Like, how do you spell it?
Ello. A couple of friends of mine posted it or shared it. Right now it says invite only. Pretty much when I went to their site, it talks about how users are not product, and ads and information should not be shared, so they're going to try to go no ads and keep everything private. So I don't know how well that'll work in the long run, so I don't know how long it'll be up, but I requested an invite, so I think it's kind of a sticking it to the man type thing. But I don't think that's sustainable with I don't know how that's going to be sustainable and how they're going to make money and continue to keep it running if I don't know how they're going to make money. So,
well, hopefully they have a big backer, or if they don't have a big backer, as many social media platforms have noticed, they try to do that, and it's just you have to have funding somehow, some way, and social media now is finally flipped that switch to where, it's just. Sorry, I had a thing in my throat. But social media is now too where you have to pay to play, and that kind of stinks. It's evolutionized, a little bit. So there you go.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. So go and do apps. You have to pay to play, and you have to have it back in somehow, So it's cool. An app I was going to show you guys real quick before we start this, because this is a digital class. I use it every now and then. Let's see here. Look up at the top next to the Snapchat logo, and it's called Overheard. Yeah, it's not focusing on that. There you go. It is that one right there. Overheard. And so basically what Overheard is, they try to be the voice of Instagram. So it's all about you take a quick snapshot, and then you have 10 to 15 seconds of some type of audio, whatever that audio might be, and so you're sharing it that way. So, I don't know, there's another one. But, yeah, let's talk Twitter. So, man, we were in a good Twitter conversation last week, and I'm just going to try to just summarize real quick again for those of you that were there and weren't there. Twitter's amazing. It's amazing for the business realm. It's amazing for the personal realm. It can show who you are as a person. It can help you get a job. It can help you get an internship. It also can help you spread the word of something that you might, feel very passionate about. Never in our lifetimes, including mine, including yours, have you ever been able to interact or talk with a brand in a split second? And that is so powerful. And we talk about, when the big brands tweet you back or, respond to you if you tweet them. And they will if they're doing social media right, and that's good public relations, when you put it, right down the line. So everybody tweets now. They all tweet. Every reporter tweets. Every news station tweets. Every nonprofit organization should be tweeting, in my opinion. And it really is a very, very powerful tool, especially with the use of hashtags. Anybody have anything on Twitter, or have anything to say about Twitter, or a question about Twitter that I can answer? Yeah, cool. Right on. So keep tweeting. It's cool. Let's talk Facebook now. Facebook is still Facebook, and a lot of people think when you talk social media, you social media, yeah, Facebook. That's just what they think, especially some of the older crowd. But the fastest growing demographic on Facebook right now are females age 40 to 65 right now, and that's when they stop. So it's the mamas, the grandmas, the people that are wanting to interact, talk with their family. We're seeing the younger generations now really leave and go to some other platforms. I mean, we all know, those are like Instagram, Snapchat, Tumblr, things of that nature. But I use them all too. All right, somebody's having trouble joining, but I'm watching live. Okay, right on. That's cool. Thank you. So everybody has Facebook, and we've all had Facebook. So I started my Facebook. I was a late guy into the Facebook. I was a late guy into MySpace. Again, took me a while to get convinced that this electronic media that everybody's reaching out with is really, the way to go. But it is. I mean, it's along with the mix of traditional public relations, as I always say, and traditional communications. So Facebook I got into, I think it was 2007. No, it was 2006. I joined Facebook, so I don't know. How long have some of you guys been on Facebook? 8, 9 years? Yeah, 10 years? Anybody been on Facebook more than a decade?
No, I didn't get mine until 2007. I was MySpace.
Yeah, me too. So what, 9 years? It looks like that's the longest anybody here in class has been on Facebook. Kudos, man. Congratulations. That's awesome. 9 years ago was back when Facebook had Al Pacino, and you had to have just a college email address, I think, or a .edu, something like that. And Al Pacino was it was the face of the guy up at the top bar. Search Facebook top bars, and you'll see that. That's kind of fun. We've always used it for personal use. And, are there any of you guys, I know that there was one person that said they had to reactivate their Facebook account, but was everybody here that's talking with us right now, were you guys all actively using Facebook when the class started?
Yes.
Yeah, right on. But do you find yourself, somebody give me a yes or no, or, however, do you find yourself now using Twitter from class here, 4 or 5 weeks in more than you were using Facebook? Or do you like Twitter more than Facebook?
Yeah, I never gave it a chance.
Yeah, okay, but now your opinion's changed. You're still getting to know it, but you see how you can find anything, you can talk with anyone, and it's endless information. That's cool. So Facebook, it's a very powerful tool for personal use, and we all have it. And it's very easy for your Facebook to be locked down. But I would just say this, especially, hey, you guys are in college. I was in college. Do a Facebook audit, because if you're not completely locked down, and we're talking here in class, and we've kind of been open, and you should be open for class again in Facebook, because we have to be able to search the hashtag J360 from each other. And if you put that in the top search bar in Facebook, post other people's posts using the hashtag. But basically, excuse me. Basically, we all know how to use it for personal use, and that's great. But here for this class, and what I'm going to focus on now is kind of the like button page. And everybody knows what a like button page is. I hope everybody gets that. And those are the business, nonprofit pages, government pages, and even for your celebrities, public figures, things like that. Everybody understands they can have a like button page, and that still is an incredibly powerful tool for anything that you're doing in public relations. Now, granted, I'm seeing that I think it's more powerful. I don't use Facebook and communications with everything. I use it, sparingly, because it's better in reaching an older and more female audience for myself at my job at Mary Free Bed. But this is where Facebook like button pages aren't what they used to be. I remember a day when I was, ghosting and I was taking care of Facebook pages for a business. I'm just making sure anybody has any questions. Okay, cool. Everybody seems cool, but it seems like it's being wonky again to hang out. But I remember back when I would make a post in the 2010, 2011 realm, I would reach 30%, 25% of all the people that liked my page. And that was just organically without having to use the boost post feature. And back then, that wasn't even available. But you know, very quickly, it's been there now at least I think 4 years, maybe 5 years, that you can pay to play. And basically, since that time, since 2010, 2011, we're now nearing the end of 2014. So in a span of about 3.5 to 4 years, if you have a like button page and you just, let's say, make a post, don't boost it, don't boost it, you'll find yourself reaching maybe sometimes underneath 10%, but most of the time 10 to 15%. Let's see here. Okay, somebody took a picture. Right on. But you'll find yourself just reaching 10 to 15% of all the people that you like. So that's kind of disheartening, you know. Facebook pretty much invented the game of social media and being social and interacting with your brands and how that helps you as a business, as a nonprofit, you name it. And now you have to pay to play. I mean, I literally, this was the first year where I work at, with my professional job with Mary Free Bed Hospital, that we actually have a budget of money that is for strictly social media boosting and posting. And that goes from, I've used it in Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And I can use it in other platforms as well if I'd like to. But that's not even like digital advertising. You know how you see banner ads and things like that? That's a completely different budget. This budget that I have is a pretty substantial budget that is just for boosting posts because you have to reach an audience now. You know, and sometimes it stinks because in your Facebook newsfeed you'll see them in the little in the upper left-hand corner say sponsored. You know, but they're there in your newsfeed. And you know, the nice thing about it is you can pick who you target with your messaging. You can pick people who like your page and their friends. You can pick people who are within a certain geographic, you know, location within 5 miles, 25 miles, 50 miles. You can pick people that like certain things. So for my case with Mary Free Bed Hospital, I might pick rehabilitation, wheelchairs, handicap, things like that. And then so people that have keywords like that on their page, you know, here comes this ad, you know, or this post. If you want to say, you know, it's almost the same thing as an ad on a timeline. But again, if you guys go to the Mary Free Bed Facebook page, it's facebook.com/MFBRehab. You'll see how I've really tried to create a community of, I'm not just pushing out a message, I'm trying to do, honestly, something that most healthcare organizations don't, and I'm running a very fine line doing it. Where I'm very interactive with people. And a lot of people, you know, healthcare's been kind of old school public relations. It's still getting there, but, you know, as the baby boomers get older and people are getting older, they're flocking to Facebook more and more. And this is a stat that it still blows my mind. The Mary Free Bed Rehabilitation Hospital Facebook page, which has about 4,000 likes, or right at 4,000. Let me see here. 4,366 likes, okay? That page is, we are 80% female and 20% male, because females are the people that make kind of the healthcare decisions. We find that they're the ones in households, you know, that, hey, they can choose this. So I have tried to take a nice kind of, not grandpa-ish, but I would say kind of uncle feel, kind of voice. I talk about, you know, having a voice with your social media, and so that's if you read the post, hopefully that's kind of how you feel. And people talk to me, they ask questions, not all the time, but that's the name of the game, and that's what you do with social media. So let me ask you guys this, because I'm tired of hearing myself talk. Has anybody here ever started and ran a Facebook like page? Nobody has?
I run mine for my
Okay, right there. Casey?
My family has one right now.
Mm-hmm. What for?
For hunting. I don't know if anybody has seen my hunting pictures.
Oh, yeah. I've seen your hunting pics.
We have an Instagram and a Facebook, but our Facebook's doing pretty well. I think we have 3,000 some likes, but it's called Montgomery Creek Outdoors. Montgomery Creek is one word.
Cool. Very cool. Who takes care of it?
My dad and me, we both kind of do it.
Yeah.
Whenever we want to post something, we do. He does more than I do, but
It's cool.
it's kind of funny because he's 53, but he's really into the social media thing, and he runs our Instagram too. I do my own Instagram. He runs all the Instagram, but I share some of the responsibility on Facebook with him.
That's very cool. So, is it just whatever do you guys have any type of a plan, or is it just kind of when you think about it and you do it?
Yeah, just kind of when we think about it, we do it. We
Cool.
did a Throwback Thursday today, or anything
Nice.
like that, or we film our hunts, or if we're at some kind of hunting event. I usually do interviews with people if we're at like a hunting show, and I'll interview people, and then we put the videos up. So we don't really have a plan to it. We just do it kind of spontaneously whenever we feel like. But we usually post about every day.
That's awesome. Yeah, that would be my key. Even if you know, I would always suggest that you have some type of a plan, just almost like a public relations plan, but at least be consistent, because that's going to keep your audience up, and that's going to keep them engaged, especially if you're not putting any money behind it. I'm sure you see it all the time. I mean, when you have a like button, page, a business page with Facebook, they're in your face constantly. They're saying promote your page. They're saying here's how you can do an ad with this post. So you have to get used to it, and you have to pick and choose. What is the right type of ad spend? I mean, again, I do different types of ad spends in Facebook, straight through Facebook. You don't have to use any CMS system or anything. And again, Facebook is the over analytics king, and they give you so much stuff. I mean, it's just kind of big with the numbers, but they give you all your vital stat numbers that you need with your like button pages. That will help you, look and see, hey, is this post doing good at this time, or is this picture doing good at this time? I mean, another thing is, we all know pictures and videos, they get more likes, more hits than just a textual post. Posting back to your website is a very important thing to do with Facebook like button pages. Always try to do your website or your blog site. You guys, feel free to take your blogs and post them on Facebook, and you can, put the hashtag, and you can use those for credit for your posts. It's pretty cool. I always said this, and I don't know. I always said Google Plus would outlast Facebook, and I always thought that Google Plus would be the next Facebook. I'm not quite sure. Google said that they're not as happy with Google Plus as they were going to be, and so there have been some changes, but I think Google Plus is still here to stay, and I think there's a possibility, there's still Google's Google, and Facebook, they've ticked off investors. They're now a publicly traded company, but so is Twitter. Twitter is now a publicly traded company as well, but in a different sense. They're, I think, being more mature and better and more socially conscious about, not just being a big business and actually sticking to the roots of what social media is. But hey, Facebook, again, they employ a lot of people. Mark Zuckerberg gives a lot back. I will give the guy that. And everybody, I mean, has everybody seen the movie? Everybody seen the Facebook movie, right? Okay, cool. Right on. Check it out. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Okay, questions. Does anybody have any questions about Facebook like button pages? I mean, honestly, if you go into an internship, if you go into your job, it's very likely as a PR person that you will be running a page or helping get content for a page. Any questions about them? Or how to do them? It's pretty easy. Go to facebook.com/business or /business, and it'll pull up all the categories that you have right there. So, my thing that last, I guess I'll say here is take a look at your Facebook page, do an audit, everybody, again, you're going to be Googled by potential employers, by, you never know who you're going to be Googled by. Being in public relations, you need to be out, and you need to be a little bit open. And again, that's why we're mixing the blend of personal along with professional posts. But keep it up. J360, it's cool. Share it every now and then. Maybe give the exclaimer, I'm using the hashtag J360, so I can share content. You can look at cool digital stuff along with my class at IUPUI. So that's fun. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry, but I don't have my notes in front of me. And that's why I'm kind of like bouncing around. Any questions again here? It's 6:24. Kind of just flew through the content. Yeah, go ahead.
So the grade book, will it keep track of our posts? Or I guess I'm just asking because I feel like I haven't tweeted 35 tweets one week, and then maybe the next week I go over. I guess what I'm asking is, do we have a grade per week on social media posts so we can kind of track how we're doing?
No. What I do is I just give you one overall grade at the end of the semester. You can add them up and you can see how many you want. And I ask that the posts be in there, each week. But other people have asked this question. You can use content management systems. You can use Hootsuite, things like that. And you can have actual lists, and you can follow those things. So you can go back through and you can count every week just to make sure that you've hit the specified number of posts. But again, as each week goes by, I hope that you feel that it gets a little bit easier. It's not as daunting, and it becomes more natural that you engage in conversation, that you use social media. So there you go. Sprout Social is another one that you can do. What I do is I create a spreadsheet that I keep track on, and I don't keep it every few weeks. I go back through and I go into my my content management systems and add them up. So there you go. That's for you guys to keep track of. Any other questions? It's a good question.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
First of all, can I just talk into this thing? I've never used it before. Okay. How I know this kind of on the same page. I know that I haven't exactly met all the requirements. For example, LinkedIn. I haven't posted, the requirements. So how much is that going to hurt our grade at the end if we don't get every single requirement?
Well, think about it. If you add it up, you're doing a lot of posting. Okay, 1,000+ posts for the semester. If you add them all up together. So I just do it on a percentage, on a base scale. I add them all up, if you want to know the truth, and then okay, so you have X to X. Here's A, X, X, B, X, X, C. On down.
Okay.
But again, your posts, they have to be made in the week. But again, like I've told everybody, I'm a little bit lenient here in the beginning of the semester, especially the first 2 to 4 weeks and things like that, until everybody gets into the swing of things. I know it's hard just to just right off the bat get going with that. But again, if you're having issues, try to use something like Hootsuite or TweetDeck or Sprout Social. There's a bunch of them out there, and you can actually schedule your posts, and maybe take half an hour out of your time, once a week, something like that, and sit down and think about, okay, here are my LinkedIn posts for the week, and then schedule them out, and then that'll also help. And that's free. It's fun and it's cool. Anybody here use Hootsuite in class? Yeah, a couple people do. It's cool. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Do you utilize, is that how you can track some of your postings? Do you have search, streams built up, for Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, things like that?
I actually do not use it for class. I use it for a little bit, but not as much as I should. If I'm at work and tweeting about something and I know my boss might not want me tweeting a lot or on Facebook or LinkedIn and stuff at work, I'll schedule some for 10 minutes after I get off work or something like that. But I should create a feed, but I use it a lot for work and not as much for personal use.
That's cool. Yeah. You guys can. I'll do the hashtag. Search the hashtag, or just J360 and the different platforms, and you'll be able to bring up everybody's stuff, including your own. Good question. Anyone else have anything? Woo! All right. Right on, guys. So, hey, have a good week. I'm excited tonight, all right? I have one more day of work, and I'm taking my wife to Walt Disney World for our first anniversary. Lots of love, you know? Lots of love. So we're going to go see Mickey Mouse, and I can't wait to go see Mickey Mouse and go to Florida, even though it looks like it's going to rain all week next week. So when we do class, I will probably be in a hotel room or somewhere. Maybe I'll do it from Disney. You know, I can take my iPad and I can stream it like that. So have a good week. Let me know any questions, and let me know if you need any help, you know, with, you know, we can talk offline with, you know, keeping track of your posts and things like that, some things to do, and I can help give you some tips that way as well. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. Have fun. Keep using the hashtag J360, and I'll talk with you later. Have a good one.
Yeah.